welcome to the latest video in this series of the XKR Repair. It's actually quite an important video for me because I've reached 200 subscribers. Now that's tiny in comparison to many other channels, but to mark that, I've got a couple of little things I'd like to do. I've got got a big bag of LEDs from the brake lights. Obviously I had to buy 100. I don't need 100. So happy to give some of those away. I need to keep 16 for me, but apart from that the rest can go. I know these are second hand, but effectively these are only 2 years old. These are the foam parts for the top of the springs. I changed mine for the poly type, but you know, these might be of use for someone. There's only 3 of these for the minute. I don't know where the other one is. I'll find it before I send it off, obviously. But if you want those, someone's welcome to those. And the other thing I have, which otherwise going to go to the tip, is a standard spring for an XK8 front. If you remember, I bought the wrong ones, and one of them cracked, so I've replaced that. But I've replaced all 4 springs with the Adder mesh lowering set. So I guess if somebody really wants the back end ones, the standard back end, if somebody wants the back end ones that I'll take out later this year, they are Cat's version. Obviously this one isn't. This is from a standard XK8. So if you want any of those, please leave me a comment and drop me an email to roger@jagsandtech.com, where I can choose whoever's going to get them and sort out postal addresses and stuff, and I'll send them out. Now I realise, these are trivial prizes from a cost perspective, but this is just me playing in the garage. There's no budget, there's no sponsorship, there's no monetization of the channel. 200 users, you need, I think it's like at least 1,000 users before you get any monetization. And you'd need thousands of views, and I get 100 if I'm lucky. So sorry about that. It is just me funding my car repairs. The paint, etc. that I've just bought. There's about £300 or £400 worth of paint. Other bits, probably another £100 worth of sandpaper, etc. So it all adds up, and I've far exceeded the budget that I originally intended. So yeah, that it is what it is. I just thought these parts aren't any use to me. They're either going to sit in my garage for the next 5 years, 10 years, whatever. I'm going to end up throwing them away. So yes, maybe somebody else can use them. Leave me a comment, drop me an email at roger@jagsandtech.com, and we'll see what we can do about getting some of these, some other Jags out there repaired. Thanks for watching. That's it for the intro. I have got some more work. I have been sanding and filling and sanding and filling and sanding and filling, trying to get these wheel arches in shape. Did some more work on the wings while I'm waiting for the filler to dry, etc. So yeah, there's a lot going on, but not very exciting from a video perspective. So yeah, I'll put a little bit of that on in a sec, and yeah, let's get back to work. So here we are on the passenger side front wing. Been playing around with it. In the last video I mentioned that it was a bit high here, a bit low here, and what I've done is I've put a couple of washers under there, and now that fits much better. I've been playing around with this the panel gap here. It is not so nice up here. This is a bit low. Ignore the door because the door's not shut at the moment. The battery's disconnected, and the window's at full extension, so it won't shut properly. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to play around. There's a bolt around here somewhere. Just going to try and pull it out a bit so it doesn't go up there so much. There are some sand marks on that, but we haven't prepared that yet or anything. So this is down to 240, I think. Just run out of sandpaper, so I've ordered some more. So we'll do a 320 and then a 400, and then that'll be ready for spraying. Very happy with the rest. Been playing around with this at the front here, trying to get this. What I'm currently trying to do is to that will fit in there a lot better. What I've been playing around with is this gap here. This is way too big, so I'm playing around with that, looking at that at the moment. So yeah, like I say, did some more work on that. Doesn't look any different, but you could easily spend a couple of hours playing around, opening and shutting the bonnet. This side much better. It has gone down to 240, but there was a few tiny little specks here that I've put some stopper on. So I'll just get rid of those stone chips and do that. Yeah, we've been playing around with this bit here as well, seeing what it's like here, improving that. But currently just again focusing on this bit here and see how that goes. Yeah, that's all down to 240 as well. So overall, that's just finished that bit there, and effectively that bit will be ready. We'll go to like 400, and then we'll put the paint on. Yeah, very happy with that. Again, this door's not quite closed, but the panel gap's good, and this is much nicer on this side. Been playing around with this, still not happy with it. Been putting stuff on, sanding it back. As you can see, we're down to metal here, but it's just trying to get this a consistent flow all the way across here. Yeah, I can feel there's a dip here, even though there's we're high there. Certain directions, like this is quite in this direction. It feels quite good. Obviously, I did tap that. There was some metal there, and I did tap that down. I haven't filled since. So yeah, it was last night. I was out here playing around with this bit here. We didn't finish sanding that flat, but yeah. The other thing I am going to do, I'm going to see a friend of mine at the weekend, and yeah, it's still not quite right there. Going to see a friend of mine at the weekend who's got an XKR, and I'll try and take some measurements or some get some kind of contour for this part here, so I can work out how it should be. Reasonably happy with all of this. Yeah, reasonably happy with all of this. There's a little bit there that's not quite right, but you just sort of try, just focus on one area, get that right, and then move on. Otherwise you get too frustrated. So I've just purchased this regulator 0.5 micron filter and a 0.01 micron filter. Now I'm going to add this on the end, basically on the outlet just there, rather than where I've got it at the moment, but that's just because of the various fittings, etc. All my fittings in the UK are 1/2 inch BSP, and obviously you can see this is NPT. So we've basically got this fitting came with the setup, so that's 1/4 inch NPT to a 1/4 inch NPT. So this is an adapter that goes from 1/4 inch NPT to 1/4 inch BSP, which is what all my these Euro fittings, males and females. So this is the pipe coming. This here is the pipe coming from the compressor. This is just a quick release connector, so there's just one of those on there. Then that's going from BSP to NPT, and then that's just a little on-off that's available. And there's a little leak from this bit here at the moment, and there, so we'll have to tighten that up. So yeah, this is a regulator and water separator. This is a 5 micron filter, and this is a 0.01 micron filter. And then we've got again, it's a 1/4 inch NPT to 1/4 inch BSP, and that's just a female version of one of these. Sorry, it's a female version of one of these, just a slightly different design. And then obviously it's just an air gun type thing. So yeah, with a fitting like that in there. So yeah, seems okay. It was the cheapest thing I could find that had a 0.01 micron filter in here. Most of them, that filter on its own is over £60. This whole thing here was like 50 quid. So yeah, quite happy with it. Give it a go. Looks like it's going to work. We've got some mounting holes here and here. We'll probably put it's going to go. Yeah, it's going to go on here. We've got a 1/4 inch or the quick release Euro connector there already. So yeah, we're just going to go from that. Yeah, so it's going to be mounted here somewhere. What I'll do is I'll put another piece of wood on the wall between a couple of, find out where the battens are. I think somewhere over here and over here. Put a piece of wood between it, mount that to it, and then yeah, that'll be it. So effectively I'm going to disconnect this quick release here, go into there's like that little stopcock type thing, then there's the regulator, the filter, and then an outlet, and then this bit here will go into that outlet. So effectively that's probably going to be about something around there. But so with those filters, that should be I should be able to have that with that 0.01 micron filter. That should be able to feed my mask and the gun, and with all these water traps and everything else as well, we should be good to go for spraying. Swans are doing well. Thanks very much for your subscriptions, it's very much appreciated. If you are interested in any of those little free giveaways, like I say, send me an email to roger@jagsandtech.com. I'm going to need your physical address and I'll post those items out to you. So yeah, the next work is effectively completing the bodywork, which seems to be taking forever, and then we need to build up a spray booth in the garage, polythene sheeting like you've seen lots of other DIY booths made up, make up a extractor fan assembly, and do that before the weather changes and gets cold again. So thanks very much, I'll be back next week.